been 4 weeks since Jay Slater went missing. There are so many different stories online, so many different perspectives, so many different opinions, and no witnesses, no evidence. Ultimately, what everybody wants to know is, where is Jay Slater? Now, there are search parties on the ground looking for Jay as we speak. There are a few new leads as well. And in fact, one of the guys in the search party has his own theory. Let's check this out.
So, as we know from yesterday's news headlines, Jay Slater could be alive and escaped on a yacht, and that his phone was also found. Now, someone tried to interview one of the managers that works in the bars, and they said this: "Missing Jay Slater, manager at Nightclub, attended by teen, says no one will be talking about that when asked about key information. Senior staff at the Tenerife nightclub where Jay Slater partied hours before his disappearance are in little mood to talk about it. The 19-year-old from Lancashire attended an NRG festival rave at Papagayo in Playa de las Americas through the night before he went missing on the June 17th. From there, Jay travelled north to a remote Airbnb with two men who invited him to stay, before leaving the accommodation on foot and headed into the rural Park de Tenno. Emergency services searched for Jay in the area until June the 30th while investigations remain ongoing. A waitress who reportedly saw Jay during the rave has spoken out over the condition Jay was in as he partied at the club, claiming he was unstable on his feet and didn't look well."
Now, that's interesting because it has been suggested that Lucy, Brad, or Ayob allegedly were drugging Jay throughout that day, keeping him waved. I don't know whether they were spiking these drinks or whether they were encouraging him to drink more and take drugs or whatever the case may be. But according to this bartender, Jay wasn't looking well. He was looking extremely ill, and she offered him a bottle of water.
Evening news approached Papagayo about Jay's disappearance, and the waitress claims this afternoon on July the 13th, which was yesterday, but a manager on shift at the venue was not keen to face questions. As for comment regarding Jay's disappearance, he said no one will be talking. When the men mentioned the waitress claims about Jay's state in the club, the manager added no one would be speaking about that.
Yeah, look how fishy that is. Something dodgy there. Now, you got to think about it. If Jay was unwell and looking extremely ill at the festival, there would have been a number of people that would have noticed that. And another thing we have to mention is Ayob did not mention in his statement that Jay was paralytic or was unwell or was feeling ill. That was not mentioned. So it doesn't make any sense. The fact that Ayob hasn't mentioned it is extremely questionable. And it makes you think, well, if he was paralytic and he don't know what's going on and you man have just slung him in the back of the car, when you man stopped at 5:30, what happened from there up until the 8:30?
Video footage circulated online showing a young man at the party who resembles Jay, appearing to show him in the same attire as the clothes he was last seen wearing. Now, why is the manager so tight-lipped on this situation?
Come on.
Surely if you saw someone and have CCTV footage about a missing person, you would want to come forward. But why aren't you?
Anyone who talks to anyone asking questions, they'll lose their job, they'll lose their accommodation there, and
So on that basis, if they are moving in that manner, then something must have happened at that spot. And something happened there, maybe a fight broke out, or maybe they caught the abduction on camera where they've taken Jay into a car. They can see him getting forced into a car. Like, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense as to why they are being tight-lipped. Are they being threatened? Is this big player on the island putting pressure on them and telling them to, shut their mouth and don't say anything? Have they still got the CCTV footage of whatever they saw? Because they must have had some form of evidence. It must have been there. CCTV must have been all over that bit.
They've all been made well aware, and also as well understand that the majority of workers out there are 18 years old, up to probably the age of around about 30, living their best life, working 6 days a week. They're about to go into peak season out there, but workers do know a lot of information. They stick together, and again, I can talk to that, like I can say from experience myself, they do. And again,
now, one thing which you guys said yesterday, the investigators finding the phone, was a load of BS media. However, Madeline said something perfect on Twitter in a discussion, and honestly I think her theory is amazing. So obviously she tweeted out the article saying Jay's phone was found in Playa Juan Lopez, a very secluded beach. Then she posted a couple of hours later saying, seems DM deleted article, but not before others picked it up. The internet never forgets, which everyone else started posting about the phone after this first news article did. Someone responded saying, so no phone then. Thought it strange to release this detail so late unless they thought it went somewhere. Madam responded saying, oh, it wasn't supposed to be shared was my initial thought. It's a fact police use media to plant certain things to see how criminals react. Well, it has added a total different theory to everything. Like you say, possibly one thing the police didn't want to share, throws up lots of questions. How was it found? Was it hidden? Smashed? Could be fingerprinted. It would have gone unnoticed too, because out of nowhere I had people asking me for a link at the same time. One guy was even accusing me of faking screenshot. I'm thinking it must have been discussed elsewhere. I seen it myself on Birmingham Live saying they've found his phone on a beach, then the theory of a boat. If that didn't happen, then him being missing is a scam. And then again this very important tweet. I think Spanish police do think it's a scam now. The day before they stopped the search they told the media this. It's very unlikely Jay has survived if he got lost in the mountains in the way we are told, insisting the people who told them the story were lying. Now, a photo is getting shared around of what appears to look like Jay. Here are the two comparison photos side by side, and first glance, you cannot deny it looks like Jay. And
that does look like Jay. And that definitely does. Now, we don't know when the photo was taken. It could have been taken on his first day there, his second day there. We don't know that, but it definitely does look like him.
In both photos, they both have some sort of similar wristband on the right wrist. Someone commented saying, also same wristband on his arm. I don't know how people here saying it doesn't look like him when it clearly does.
It definitely does look like him.
Now, you cannot say it does not look like him, because it does. However, you have to ask yourself, would Jay really be casually chilling on a beach, all calm whilst his family are worried sick?
That's what I'm saying. Like, has anyone verified when this photo was taken? I mean, that's the first thing you'd want to do, right?
He's in the media eyes right now. The answer is most certainly no. However, you do not know any theory. If someone really has captured him, you do not know what people are capable of. He could be being held by people, but living life like normal. This is something that cannot be ruled out. Now, Jay...
I mean, it can't be ruled out. You're right. Is Jay really in that deep? Why would Jay be in that deep? It was a Rolex or an AP that was allegedly stolen. I mean, come on, man. If people are going to go all this way because this guy really stole a watch. Stories have literally had everyone going around in circles. They've misled everyone into a brick wall. So all of that doesn't make any sense. But there's still someone out there at this moment in time who had an incident with Jay back in 2021, which weren't that many years ago, who does have a motive. In fact, I'm going to do another video where we're going to focus a bit more on Jay Slater and Tom Hilton. Make sure you turn your notification bells on so you don't miss that one.
His mom has spoke out today. She said, latest update from Debbie Duncan. Jay's family would like to thank you all for your continued support at this difficult time. Almost 4 weeks on and we're still no further in finding our beautiful boy. It was only 4 days into his holiday and his disappearance still remains a mystery.
It was 4 days. I thought it was 3.
We're still here in Tenerife searching daily with the help of volunteers and local hyping groups. Paul is also still working tirelessly, which we are so grateful for and send him so much love and respect. As you all know, the Guardia Civil gave up the land search after 12 days. We've been actively working with search and rescue teams, and we can now confirm that with a team of experts flying in over the weekend from the Netherlands who will carry on the search with their specialist dogs, we are only able to fund this with the generosity of all those who donated.
I know people are thinking about that GoFundMe. This is clearly a way of them saying they're going to be using that for the investigation.
The team are the Signia Zoeka Hoden, and this has taken lots of planning to get them over, so thank you so much for your kindness. Jay is just a normal hard-working young lad from Lancashire who is very loved by all who know him. He's about to finish his 3-year apprenticeship this month. Although we don't have any answer to his disappearance, we obviously have to remain positive.
I don't think he's going to be there to complete the apprenticeship at this rate. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Please continue praying for him and our family. There is a lot of negativity, unfortunately, and this is adding to the heartbreak of the unknown. So I would please just say, send the love and positive thoughts to Jay, our beautiful son. Thanks, Debbie. Now, somebody else posted a photo and said, someone just sent me these pictures. She said it's screenshots of a webcam in Tenerife. I don't really think it looks like him, different clothes, but just thought I'd share. And now, just from a little glance again, it does look like Jay is on a boat wrapped around a towel.
I mean, it does again look like Jay, but it's blurred. You can't really see it.
Now, someone is claiming over on TikTok, and I do think it's sick if it is wrong. Jay is alive, but not on the island. All the stories by friends have been decoys. Jay left the boat by his own free will. Story will be out after 9:30 PM tonight. And if there is any news of this guy updating us with real information, we'll make sure to update you.
What are we really saying about this boat? I don't know about this boat. You know, times coincide with each other. The boat was stolen at 5:30. The pit stop before they got to the Airbnb was at 5:30. I mean, that makes sense. And there's obviously visual footage of people stealing this boat. But do we really believe that Jay's on this boat? Do we think that they were involved in the disappearance of Jay? I mean, the boat was tracked nearby to where the Airbnb was.
But if he is joking, it is very sick to share this.
So yeah, I've just arrived back home. What we've tried to do with the map, which we're going to share with all of you guys who've got an interest in Jay and helping to find Jay, is we've approached this using the facts and in a sober-minded way.
Like, how do we know what the facts are? Are we going off the stories that you've been given? Are we calling those the facts?
And not deviating from the facts. We've not got involved in conspiracy theories. We don't want to do that because we don't want to potentially ruin innocent people's lives. I'm not a detective, never professed to be one. I'm not a mountaineer. I was a volunteer that responded to a call from the Guardia Civil to go up and help. And on the day I went up and helped, the search was cancelled. I'm just a concerned citizen, and I was doing this to try and help find Jay for his family.
Big him up, bruv. Big him up.
Now, in the videos that we're going to put up, and thanks for the whole team and everyone who's helped from afar and everyone who's helped up close and personal, especially Adrian, especially Luggy. Guys, we couldn't have done no, this was our team effort, and what we've done is we've created our plan based on the information we had in front of us. Once we had our plan.
Okay, so you created the plan based on the information that you had in front of you, not based on the facts. What they're saying Jay did doesn't make any sense. The fact that Ayub had a car, the fact that the Airbnb manager had a car, the fact that there was a bus stop outside, it doesn't make any sense as to why this guy decided to walk the opposite way. If these guys bothered to actually look at all the bits and pieces that have been shared online, which are facts, and why they're facts is because Ayub confirms that Lucy knocked on his door and woke him up. How would Lucy know where his Airbnb is? How would Lucy even know who he is? So the moment Ayub has confirmed that, that is now deemed as a fact. If you're not looking at that, then I don't understand what you are doing. If you're not looking at that and you're going down the route of listening to what Brad and Lucy told you, then just know you're going around in circles and inevitably you're going to be hitting a brick wall. Now, I don't want that to be the case, but come on. We need to really look at every single detail. Now, the boat situation, I don't really buy into that, but you have to keep it on the table until you can find a way to eliminate it. At this moment in time, I'm not too sure what facts or what evidence these guys are working with, but you know, if they continue to search the mountains, I think they're going to be searching for the rest of their lives.
And based on the evidence and the facts, we've spent 5 times more time research and analysing and using the process of elimination.
Okay.
To really home in our plan like a laser guided target. So when we put boots on the ground, we're not wandering through the mountains aimlessly. We're visiting specific spots.
Okay.
What you'll see in the videos is a series of decisions that Jay would have had to take. And once he's come off road, that was a mistake. I've been up there today with 4.5 litres of liquid and all the correct war hiking gear. Jay was in shorts and a t-shirt and trainers. He was hungry, he wanted to go and get some scran, and he had no water on him. He would have dehydrated really quickly.
Absolutely, I agree with that. But you just think of it logically. Would this guy really have made that decision knowing that it was that hot and he was that dehydrated and there was 2 cars available? There was a calf outside the Airbnb, which I'm sure the Airbnb manager could have offered him a bottle of water or some drink. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And we can see here again, the facts that they're claiming is the stories that they've been given by Lucy and Brad. So based on the stories that they've been given by Bradley and Lucy, they're now creating scenarios that could have potentially actually happened along the way. Now that makes total sense. We can't say that they're facts at this moment in time because there's no trace of Jay along that way. If Jay would have been dehydrating, there would have been some form of DNA that would have been splashed somewhere. That would have been picked up. The scent of that would have been picked up. The scent of his clothing would have been picked up. Something would have been picked up along the way. They deployed a whole team of people to look over this area.
Jay wasn't. So keep that in mind when you look at all the videos. Put yourself in the mindset of Jay. What would he have done in that situation?
What he would have done was walk back the way he came and go back to the Airbnb. I mean, that's what I would have done anyway.
What would you have done in that situation? At every key step, every key decision point. And I think
sorry, I don't mean to laugh at the situation. It's just that these guys are actually trying to, you know, work this out based on delusion. It's based on delusion. Tell the feds to actually do their job correctly, and they wouldn't have you out here sweating your bollocks off in an area where you're never going to find Jay.
Jay went off road, which was a mistake.
He went off road based on Bradley's story. Why did he go off roads the moment Bradley called him? Why? He was walking down the road and all of a sudden Bradley called him and he goes off road. Why? Why did he do that? Lucy also mentioned in her statement that she told Jay to go back. If you're going to listen to me at any time in your life, then now's the right time to listen to me. Go back. That's what she said to him. Why did he not go back? Why did he be like, oh yeah, I'm dehydrated, it's hot, I'm sweating, I stink, I ain't had a shower, and I'm just going to continue walking, bruv, in an area where I don't know. If you see the terrain and you see all of the wild stuff that's going on there, why would you continue to walk through it? Why would you go uphill, downhill? Why would you do it? No one in their right frame of mind would do it. Now, I understand that we've been told that Jay was unwell, he was feeling ill. Would a person do this while they're feeling ill and unwell and sick? Dehydrated, no water? Why would they do this? Why would they even attempt to do this? Why would they just not turn back and go back to the Airbnb? We're being told no, but he was scared, someone was after him. That's the story that they've given us. This is not the facts, ladies and gentlemen. This is the story that Ayub, Lucy, and Bradley have given us. And the watch situation, I honestly don't really buy into it. I think it's a decoy. I think it was a part of the plan to make it sound logical as to why this guy's gone missing or as to why this guy feared for his life. But I don't think it was the case.
You'll see the area of the phone ping. You'll see it's one of the only areas you can sit. Then he's gone to the RP point.
So these guys are now basically, you know, they've bought into the delusion and they're now saying this is what's happened.
Which we'll put the maps up so you can see it. At the point where he's gone off the RP point, you're now in the ravine. And when you get to the ravine, you come to the V point at the bottom. Once you get to that, there's no coming back. There's no coming back. It's a man trap. If Jay's got that far, remember, all he's got no fluids, he's got no phone, he's got no communication.
Why has he got no phone? What happened to his phone? Why does he have no phone?
In a strange place. Now he's lost and now he's scared. No one in the world there to help him.
What doesn't make sense to me is why he didn't stay at the Airbnb. Ayub said he's a mate of a mate. Why would you not feel safe with this guy, knowing that you're in an island that you've never been to before? Your friends aren't with you. These guys have got a car. It's your easiest way back to your hotel. Why would you choose to do anything other than that?
And at that point, he finds himself in a man trap. The only thing he's got now is survival instinct. And his survival instinct is gravity. Gravity's going to keep taking him down. Remember, he wasn't climbing mountains, he was going down them.
How do you know?
And he was heading for the coast.
How do you know? Like, how can you say, remember, he weren't going up mountains, he was going down them? But when the reporter went to the spot where the Airbnb manager said she last see Jay, the only thing we saw was hills going up. We never see anything going down. I don't know what these guys are really waffling about.
Now, unless the Guardia Civil or the Spanish military are going to put on another search and really search the areas that we're going to post, then my belief is one day someone else, a hiker, will get in trouble in that barranco, in that ravine, and they'll have to be saved. And only when people go into it again with a search party, I think we're going to find Jay.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say that. Pretty predictable.
Let's say he was lucky and he managed to get through it all against all the odds, and he got to the beach. Even when he got to the beach, it's like something out of Pirates of the Caribbean. There's no access to the beach, only by that barranco or by a boat.
So, you know, it is like this guy says he don't want to talk about conspiracy theories because it might damage families and it might damage people. And he's here mentioning Pirates of the Caribbean, bro. This hypothesis that this guy is giving you is off the basis of delusion. Remember, we've been given a fabricated story by 3 people whose stories don't really make sense, especially Lucy and Bradley. I mean, Ayob has been consistent with what he's been saying. He did implicate Lucy by saying that she turned up at his door and woke him up at 8:30 in the morning. You know, why are these people not being questioned about this? They're talking about the ravine and call. Don't eliminate that. Don't write it off. But we've had a whole search team in that area covering miles of path, miles of grass, miles of land, and there was not a single trace of Jay whatsoever.
Jay has made a series of mistakes, not knowing the consequences of those decisions. Jay is stuck somewhere in that barranco, in that mountain.
So he's just basically saying that, you know, he's a dumb kid and made decisions that have led to him taking his own life. I have to say, I don't agree with that whatsoever. Now, the weeks and weeks have gone by, still no real evidence, still no real factual information on what has actually happened to Jay. Now, big up all the people that are out there helping with the rescue mission, the people that are online trying to spread as much awareness as they can, even the people that are actually coming up with their own theories, trying to figure things out. These things do need to happen because clearly there are people that are incompetent out here buying into delusion. So guys, hit that like button, do subscribe to the channel if we are new, turn on notification bells on, all of that, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.